Every gilded cage is built with walls of comfort. The only question is what you're paying for them.
All right, today we're gonna go deep, and I mean literally deep. We're exploring one of the most imaginative and, honestly, just persistent theories out there. The idea that our planet, Earth, is hollow, and that a whole hidden world is thriving right beneath our feet. Just think about that for a second. What if, beyond everything we know, there's another civilization, totally secret and untouched, just waiting? It's a seriously captivating thought, isn't it? And it's this exact question that has fueled the Hollow Earth theory for, well, centuries. So where did this whole idea even come from? Well, to really get it, we've got to start by digging into the myths and legends, the very foundation of this idea of a world within our world.
And right at the heart of it all is a place called Agartha. This isn't just some big cave system. We're talking about a vast, mythical kingdom deep underground, with roots in Eastern traditions. The belief is that this place holds ancient knowledge and technology that's way, way beyond anything we have on the surface.
Now, every kingdom needs a capital, and for Agartha, that capital is the legendary city of Shambhala. But in these stories, Shambhala is more than just a city. It's a symbol, a sanctuary of pure peace and enlightenment, totally hidden away from all the chaos we have up here.
Okay, so what would it actually be like to live in Agartha? Well, the stories paint this incredibly vivid picture of a perfect utopian society living way down below.
For instance, there are these descriptions of cities like Telos, which is supposedly one of about 120 underground towns. The buildings are totally unique. They're described as round and roofless, glowing with their own light because they're open to a gentle, constant inner sun. It's a vision that's somehow both familiar and completely alien at the same time.
And what about their tech? Yeah, forget cars and planes. The stories talk about silent hovercraft that are guided by thought and powered by some kind of crystalline energy. It's this picture of a society that has just mastered physics in a way we can only dream of. Their whole philosophy on life is different, even down to the food they eat. Everything is grown locally, it's completely natural, and it's believed to be full of positive energy. A pretty stark contrast to the processed stuff we eat up here. They live in total harmony with their environment.
So you put all this together, and it's pretty clear what kind of place this is meant to be. It's a utopia. Imagine a 4-hour workday, picking a job based purely on what you love to do. No money, just a barter system. And get this, they can even influence the weather with their collective thoughts. It's a vision of a perfect, peaceful world.
Okay, so if this incredible place actually exists, the next logical question is, how do you get there? And this is where the whole story takes a turn, from ancient myth into the world of modern conspiracy theories. When you look into the modern search for Agartha, two really strange threads keep popping up. First, there's the Nazis' well-known fascination with the occult. And second, there are the highly secretive polar expeditions of the famous American explorer, Admiral Richard Byrd, right after the war.
And this is how real history gets tangled up in the myth. So, you have the Nazis exploring these occult ideas back in the 30s and 40s. Then, right after the war, the US Navy launches this massive expedition to Antarctica called Operation High Jump, led by Admiral Byrd. Now, the official story was training and exploration, but for conspiracy theorists, the timing was just too perfect. They believe Byrd wasn't just exploring ice, he was looking for an entrance. According to researchers who study this stuff, some Nazi groups, like the Vril Society, truly believed that Agartha was a real place, a source of incredible power and ancient wisdom. They didn't see it as a myth. They saw it as a strategic asset, maybe even the key to winning the war and dominating the world. But for all the incredible stories and shadowy conspiracies, what does actual science have to say about all this? It's time to pivot and look at the hard evidence that really challenges the idea of a habitable world under our feet.
I mean, whenever this topic comes up online, you see these kinds of questions. Straightforward, practical, physics-based problems. Like, okay, what stops the oceans from just draining into the hollow part? How would volcanoes even work? Why does it get hotter the deeper we dig? Any Hollow Earth theory has to have answers for these fundamental things.
Because our current scientific model, which is based on a ton of seismic data, shows an Earth that is anything but hollow. We know it's made of distinct layers, a solid crust, a molten mantle, a liquid outer core, and a super dense, solid inner core, all crushed under immense pressure.
And then you have the heat. The Earth's core is blazing hot, somewhere around 5,000 degrees Celsius. That's about as hot as the surface of the sun. In those kinds of conditions, a lush, temperate paradise just isn't possible, at least not according to the laws of physics as we understand them.
And that brings us to another huge point, Earth's magnetic field. You know, that protective bubble that shields us from deadly solar radiation? Well, it's generated by the churning liquid iron in our planet's outer core. If the Earth were hollow, that mechanism just wouldn't exist, and life on the surface, let alone inside, would be impossible.
So if all the scientific evidence points so strongly against it, why do people keep coming back to this idea? Why is the hollow Earth myth so alluring? What's the appeal?
Well, a lot of people online make a really interesting point. The hollow Earth story is fundamentally different from something like the flat Earth theory. Flat Earth is about limits, a boundary you can't cross. But hollow Earth is about possibility. It offers this amazing, fantastical world to discover. It's a story of wonder, not restriction.
And honestly, this quote from a Reddit user just nails it. They said, "I'm tired of the cancerous partisan garbage. This is the kind of weird shit I'm here for." And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? In a world that feels so divided and negative sometimes, these kinds of theories are a genuine escape. They're a playground for the imagination.
When you boil it all down, the legend of Agartha is really like a mirror. It reflects our own deep desire for a better world. A world without war, without pollution, without corruption. It's the story we tell ourselves about the potential for a better way to live, hidden just out of reach.
Which kind of leaves us with one final big question to think about. Is the search for Agartha about finding a literal place under the ground? Or is it really a search for the best parts of ourselves? A kind of map to the utopia we all wish we could build right here on the surface?